Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It's King and Prince of Map Tourney Day again today. Well, it's not really Prince of Map Tourney because we're not covering that section of the tourney. But we are following on from the rounds 1 to 3 cast we had a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, on Open Palms. Today it's finals day. And this is actually last week's cast, guys. Apologies for that. It was half term and little Mandel Percy was back in hospital with his lungs again this week, so it's all been a bit cray-cray. But I'm not going to leave you shortchanged. We'll have another cast later on the week for this week, so you guys get your fair dues. All right, enough of all that gubbins. On to the map. We know it's Open Palms, and let's see how these guys are going to get on. Cha-ching. Ka-ching. Alright, Open Palms, we know what we're dealing with. Let's take a look at our players up here at the top left. In the yellow corner, it's Charamba. Here he is going Cyber and Bless him, opening first land, chucking him down next to the Mexes for adjacency bonus. And down here at the bottom right in the other nook, opposing nook, following on from the last match in the last cast of the tourney section, it's Zlo. Excuse me. And he's rocking this season's ever so fashionable Seraphim, opening first land. Let's go to split screen so we can examine their openings and know how you like to pass them off as your own. There we go. So adjacency bonuses there for Charamba. Not so much for Zlo. He's chucking his first initial factory off that top left corner of that top left mex there. So slightly different styles off the bat. Zlo batting against the convention, I think, from what we've seen in rounds 1 to 3. I think it's fair to say. Charamba throwing down some P-gens around his first mechs on the corner. So interesting, not even going straight for any mexes. 3 P-gens around the first mechs and then the 4 core mexes. Whereas Zlo went land factory, 4 core mexes, engineers straight out to build the hydro. And that's what he's going to focus in. First 2 engineers for Charamba come off to build the hydro as well. After that, we've got air factory, and land all day down here for Charamba. And a similar kind of affair. We assume that is air 2 for Zlo. Looks like the queue confirms that. And then 3 land factories after that. So apart from the initial opening, very, very similar indeed. But that really is a stark contrast there from Zlo. No super early power, no adjacency bonus from the P-gens to the mass or from the mass to the first factory. Always nice to see a little bit of variation. Just goes to show you guys there's never any one route to success. Or there may be. Zlo could get absolutely curb stomped and everyone could say that's a terrible idea, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. First units across the plateau in the center there for Charamba. That's a mole. Probably popping up on Zlo's scope as he passes by with that Selene. Indeed, there it is. Zlo moving out with his commander to protect his base from the inevitable incoming. One quick blap from the commander gun takes care of that. Selene and Tham just passing around the edge of the central plateau now for Zlo, heading up towards Charamba's main base. And we're yet to see which direction these players pick for their comms. Whether or not we're going to have a head-to-head or indeed the more conventional split as often seems to happen. And he actually went Land Factory 2 there for Zlo and Air Factory 3. What was the order of operations over here? It's hard to tell now which way we went with that, but we could probably infer that it might have been something similar. Charamba moving out with his commander, building that mex. And no doubt the other associated structures as well. First little entanglement over here. We saw from those units passing the middle plateau earlier. That's going to go badly for Zlo. That Mantis survives with a mere 18 hit points. No, it doesn't. Selene decloaks and goes a blappity blap blap. Takes down the Mantis and then recloaks. No, he doesn't recloak. He stands there waiting for it with his 11 HP. Slight mistake there. Zlo's like, what on earth? I thought I pressed the cloak button. Apparently, sir, you did not. Maybe I ran in it. Well, maybe he did. So, I mean, that's not cloaked right now, right? Because it's got the little deny, the little strike through mark on it. And that definitely disappeared a moment ago, so maybe that was a lucky bit of ground fire there from that Mantis, anticipating where that came from. And assuming he hadn't missed it, that was probably Chirintiramba pulling off an evil little strike. But we'll have to see if any one of them offers any illumination in the comment section below. Do feel free to contribute, guys, if you're watching. Mantis breaking through onto the plateau there. We've got a couple of build queues set up there from Chirintiramba. One Magnu T1 radar and a T1 PD. Magno rather than Magnu, but Magnu sounds better, doesn't it? I think we'll stick with that. And Slow's pulled his commander and gone off to the right, throwing down some assistance on that engineer's hydro. And which way did Chirintiramba head with his commander? Well, he's gone to the left and is actually steaming past the midway point now into Zlow's territory. Could cause problems for the expansion down here. Plenty of time to cause some problems there and get back without getting his comm in too much trouble. Zlow's still building up. We're only 5 minutes in. Unlikely to be beset upon by a huge horde of FAMs or anything more dangerous. Cheeky little takedown of a mechs there by the Mantis. Attempt at a run by here over in the corner, but they've been caught out. No more progress for that little duo. And one rogue mole making it into the backfield for Chirintiramba. Com inbound. Couple of vulnerable mexes about to get taken out. No knee-jerk response en masse from Zlow. One Tham rolling in. Things going to go badly for him. A few interceptors taking off in the background there. Forget exactly what it is. It's something like 8 seconds or something that you need to hold a T1 mass extractor for to make it worthwhile building it, economically wise. Engineer trying to lock down the area with the T1 PD over here. Not completed in time to prevent those Thams from breaking through, potentially causing some problems with mexes on this side of the map for Chirintiramba. And Slow looking to reclaim the central plateau, destroys that engineer before he can complete that PD we saw earlier. And Chirintiramba still on the rampage with his comm. Four more mexes under threat here. Caps one. Caps another. And bringing in some ground assistance to block off any incoming threat to the comm. This is a really aggressive incursion from Chirintiramba, plonking his comm right on the other side of the map and reinforcing. It does leave this side incredibly vulnerable because he's had to divert a lot of ground forces to support the comm down here. Ground forces which normally would be pressurizing this channel. So you can see, unsurprisingly, Zlow making some gains up in the top right. Chirintiramba scoops up all of those mexes. Was in the process of destroying them initially, but changed his mind, so they're all pretty badly damaged. Looks like he's going to complete a point defense, making that area just that little bit tougher. Got to be careful, though, he doesn't get himself surrounded and cut off from his base and all the reinforcements that he can bring in from there. Another mass extractor down, and Chirintiramba with a 47-39 mass lead. Slightly behind in mass accrued totals, though. And now with Zlow diverting forces over here. That's left an open door over in the east for Chirinchiramba to force his way in. Hasn't got quite enough units to complete the conquest. And Chirinchiramba actually backing away with his comm. He's left that position down there. He queued up a land factory, but thought better of it. Didn't want to get isolated, so he's pulled his comm backwards and has reinforced his position with more spam over there. Slows comm nearby as well, so things really heating up in this corner of the map. Producing jesters now. Some T1 gunships. 2 of them completed so far. And important to note that Chirinchiramba, while looking strong on the field, also has air dominance. A lot of interceptors providing cover above Chirinchiramba's comm over here. Zlo nearby is probably going to get involved. Chirinchiramba, if he's got a couple of bombers and a few gunships, could cause some headaches here. He's got 4 jesters now. He could go in after the comm and close it out right here. There's nothing to shoot down those gunships for Zlo. Zlo probably thinking he's got more wiggle room than he has. In come the jesters, which is the point of the game when you go, oh no. GG already. He knows he's been got. GG out from Chirinchiramba. In under 11 minutes, 1 interceptor comes in, but that's not going to be enough. Zlo already into the red and skillfully manhandled out of the game. Chirinchiramba wins out in that engagement, still well over 50% health. And Zlo, our Sean Bean of Guilecast, bows out once again. Hey, he won the last game. What do you want? So he gets to the semi-finals. Unfortunately, progresses no further, but congratulations to Chirinchiramba. That was highly entertaining as we go to our holding video and I try and dig out where on earth I put the other cast. By the way, apologies if you can hear children and babies screaming in the background. That is that's my life essentially. So although I'm apologizing for you, I invite you to essentially feel more sorry for me, who has to endure it on a daily basis. We can go back to game number 2, which is of course the final, as we find out who is going to walk away with that swanky new avatar for FAF chat. So Chirinchiramba, of course, we're aware, just seen him break through from the semi-finals. He's down here at the bottom right in the yellow corner, opening first land, going UEF and sticking with his conventional opening we saw in the last round. And his opponent breaking through on the other semi-final was Vexed97, who's going Seraphim, and he's sticking with a similar line to Chirinchiramba there. P-gens around that first mechs and opening up with that first land factory. And, of course, in Ferrari red. And, of course, we said, didn't we? We said about that opening, but it had no impact on the game, really. That was just an unfortunate strategic blunder. He was not, strategically massively far behind because of his openings low in that last game. So, you know, you can quibble about these sorts of things, but you have to wonder, in the grand scheme of things, how much it really matters. While these two get heated up, I think it's a good chance to talk about the upcoming raffle that we're going to be doing. I think what we're planning to do, we're going to kick it off next month, so we have plenty of time to prep it. And I've had some fantastic responses from a couple of peeps. One guy I've already mentioned has made an app to make my life easier. Thank you so much. I'm going to get in contact with him basically to help me sift out the people, because not everybody who donates to the Patreon wants to be entered into this raffle, because quite frankly I don't blame you. Some people like to watch the game and not play it. I actually pretty much put me in that bracket as well. I won't lie, I don't know what I've got myself into. I'm utterly terrified about it, but you know what, adapt or die, as the saying goes, so it should be entertaining at the very least. So anyway, back to the game. Vex pulls his comm on to assist with the Hydro. So we went 3 T1 P-Gens and then Hydro power-wise, and then go second Air. And then we're probably going to get 4 more P-Gens before moving on to the land factory. We've got a lot of land factories after that. Snoop coming north of the midpoint there for Chirinchiramba. And Chirinchiramba, who's renamed himself to Sonozaki Shion, but it is Chirinchiramba still, he went second Air as well, kicking off with an Air Scout for that one. Incidentally, taking a look at the rankings, it was 2,100 apiece, I think, or 2,000 apiece. Maybe he jumped in between the time on global ranking, but they were definitely the same. I remember in that last game, Zlo and Chirinchiramba, but that's quite a sizable difference, 2,100 versus 1,800. So you would favor Chirinchiramba to win out in this one, but let's see how it develops. Uphill battle for Vexed, I think it's fair to say. Apologies for the sniffles, it's still pretty rank over here in the UK in terms of temperature and pollution and just generally quality of life. That's the way it goes. Tham and Selen encroaching on Chirinchiramba's starting position now. Cheeky little run by over here, trying to put pressure on a couple of mexes. Quick diversion though, surely from Chirinchiramba up here. Yeah, there it goes. Striker will be brought in to force that to desist. Vex doesn't hang about, knows he's going to be under pressure, carries on moving into the backfield, wants to leave these lurking so he can pick off some engineers and slow up Chirinchiramba's expansion. Vex moving to the left with his comm, and Chirinchiramba moving over to the right with his, going straight for the Hydro. Very similar. Not going straight for the Hydro at all, picking up a couple of mexes on the way, and then presumably heading up for the Hydro. He'll assist with the Engineer, which will pick up those 4 mexes and then move on to that. Com gonna head up here, grab that mex, and then I imagine assist that Engineer on the Hydro. Always wonderful when you make assumptions that aren't actually happening. Always looks good. Very professional here at Guildcast as always. Another little Tham Selen combo from Vexed, and that's now got a tail with 3 strikers and 3 snoops. No escape for you, my friend. And the Selen goes down. No cloaky, and no hidey killy engineering for you, sir. That's a nice little deny. That's a nice little bag over here potentially for this Tham. 3 kills to his name. Engineer probably one of them. Is that an Engineer wreck? Certainly looks Engineer-like. Engineer-related. You can see a pair of spectacles and a clipboard under there somewhere. Cheeky little snag there from Vex. Definitely early harassment going in favor of Vex 97, but it's not making any great difference to the eco. 31 apiece, just changed there to 33 in favor of Chirinchiramba. But sometimes it's nice to apply the psychological aspect, even if it doesn't win you any great advantage on the field. Just putting pressure on your opponent can give you an advantage in the mind game, the inevitable mind game. And when that is all you can see, mind games are a huge part of the game. Power lockage there for Vexed. He wants to get that under control. That's going to be hampering his economic output for a while. And once again, Chirinchiramba going early and aggressive with his comm on his opponent's side of the field. Advancing up here, hitting these mexes once again. We saw him, of course, on the opposite side of the field, but in this, making the same move essentially against Zlo in the last game. Chirinchiramba, wonder if he's going to head up here and pick off the mexes as well. Wonder if Vex watched that game. Might give him a little heads up of where he might be moving. Potentially was playing his own game at the same time, of course. Nice little run by for Chirinchiramba. If he headed right onto the back, could have caused all sorts of problems there, but he's got himself caught by the comm. Loses one of his 4 tanks. Might pick off an engineer on his way through, though. And indeed, Chirinchiramba heading up to that far corner. So it's definitely a favoured move for him on open palms. Four FAMs about to get royally shafted by Chirinchiramba's striker platoon. In they come, picking them off one at a time for 0 yellow casualties. And of that merry band of men we saw a while ago, only 1 remains with 17 HP, but climbing on the regen there. Got 1 star. Slowly repairing itself. Brings himself back to put some pressure on that mech once again. 45 to 41 in favor of Chirinchiramba. Pretty much where we'd expect to be. Global rankings taking into account. Chirinchiramba finds himself on the opposite side of opposing forces with his comm once again. He can isolate the commander from all of his base forces. You're on to a real winner. Vex seems determined to try and take this area back. Not going to manage it though with that meager band against a similar sized band and a comm. He's actually pulled his comm, so it's almost exactly the same reaction we had from Zlo. Going to see a counter push on this side now, I wonder, from Chirinchiramba, now that more resources is being diverted over to this side of the map. That long single file stream. Let's do a quick T1 unit main staple head count. 65 strikers on the field there for Chirinchiramba. What have I hit there? I've hit Zooies, I think. That's not what I wanted. FAM's 54, but we've got more Zooies on the field than we have Lobos, so perhaps it sort of evens out in general T1 numbers. Hydro under threat from Vex down here. What's this going to do to his power? Looks like he's relying on it more than he'd like to. Almost causes problems. Something finished just in time. Sneaky little grab there. Apologies if you can hear the doorbell going off in the background. Vexed standing personally at the head of a pretty mean bunch at T1 over in the east. Little band up at the back, finally dismantling that yellow position. That is the end of that. In the meantime, we've had a distance build up the side of the cliff, and Chirinchiramba grabbing the top edge, and in fact he's done it on both sides. So that's an extra 6 mexes potentially under his control. About to widen his already mass advantage that he's got already. 69 to 55. We need some kind of statement of intent now from Vexed if he's to stay in this one. He has been successful at pushing Chirinchiramba back. Well, he's about to give ground over in the east. And his comm has actually moved back way over here. T1 transport out. Out to make a drop somewhere, picking up some of these units. I'm wondering if this is going to the corners somewhere to try and prevent Chirinchiramba from locking those down as well. He's actually right up front now, Vex, towards Chirinchiramba's base. 12 minutes in. Looks like he's nearly in control of the plateau. Got some troubles east of the plateau, but he's hitting the main base now. Chirinchiramba pulling some spam that he had at the top right over here back to defend, but Vex looking like he's going to get a good chunk of these units into the main base now, just as engineers are working on the first T2 reactors, and that really is going to slow Chirinchiramba up. This is a critical error on his part. Doesn't want to lose the T2 engineer, doesn't want to lose the queued up P-Gen, and have to start that over again with another T2 engineer. And down it goes. That is a worthwhile little hit. And with Chirinchiramba consolidating back towards the base to assist with that, he's now under pressure from the skies. He's got plenty of ground-to-air firepower. But Vex pushing out into the east with his own units now. Was that a run-by or was that a drop? We've lost track of certain parts of the field there after concentrating on that base assault. Vex moving backwards with his comm into the body of his own spam. Reinforcements emerge from the west. Chirinchiramba filing in. Comm here working on a land factory, a reinforcement point to try and hold this position. Now we're starting to see more T2 on the field for Chirinchiramba. Are we even at T2? Yes, we are there for Vex, but I'm not seeing many, if any, Ilshivas showing up on the scene. Must have just hit that. Working on his first now, I believe. Two pillars running away from some T1 over here. Managing to hold the line. That little group wisely stayed away from the far back corner that's now reinforced with its own factory and some PDs. But look at what's happened. That must be a power lock, surely. No, it's not. Chirinchiramba down to 57, despite holding both of the corner plateaus over there. Vex is way in front at 73. He now needs to go all out T2 production and get as many Ilshivas into the mix as possible. Chirinchiramba starting T2 on his commander. If he could interrupt that, that would be awesome for Vex. Stop Chirinchiramba from being able to lock down areas of the map with T2 point defense. Major push though in front of the comm. Wants to keep Vex busy so he has the time to complete this upgrade, which is only a quarter done. Vex down into the yellow, 7,000 hit points and falling, taking some fire. A lot of T2 units in here. Doesn't want to get caught up on his own forces. Needs to be careful and respect the extra firepower that's on the field now. Upgrade at 50% and climbing. He's got the pillars, I think, to hold this position. Doesn't need to worry about cancelling or dropping back. It's progressing at a nice rate. And I've got a gun upgrade, speed and range there from Vex. So two different comms, taking two different tacks. in this. T1 bombers harassing the plateaus now. Chirinchiramba on 67 versus 69. Wow, that just dropped off. Is that power related? No. So Vex lost some resourcing options there. A couple of cheeky strikers over here have taken down a couple of mexes. Always a problem when you don't hold the corners. There's quite a lot of free movement down here. Get a transport over here as well, and you've got a real problem of air droppage, although plenty of interceptors back here for Vex to guard that option. Take a quick look at what's happening in air game overall. It looks at first glance like we have a major advantage in the skies for Vex. He's at 26 fueled and 5 unfueled inties. Chirinchiramba at 23. It's actually not that big, so it's pretty close. Vex completes his upgrade on the comm. Gun upgrade done, but he's below 6,000 hit points, so he needs to be careful. And we have a Zeph amp gun upgrade and a T2 comm down here at full health pretty much for Chirinchiramba. Vex moving in, balls out very ill-advisedly, I think, with the amount of health he's got on the comm here. There's a lot of firepower down here in the form of these T2 pillars. This might have been a horrible error, and I think it may just have been at 18 minutes. Vex, what was that? Why did you do it? Boom, baby! That was a mistake. What a mistake to make. Definitely not. Definitely not where he wanted to be. I think he just didn't like where the game was going. But well done to Chirinchiramba. Solid win on the ground. It looked like he was in trouble for a while there when he dropped off on his mass output, but no, he held his line and waited for Vex to make the mistake, which he ultimately did. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. As always, more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, if you feel so inclined, please consider donating to my Patreon. Details on how to do that below this and each and every one of my videos. Thank you to all of those who've made donations in the past and those who continue to do so for your enduring support. It is very, very much appreciated. Until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.